Muted. Aha! We're live. How you doing? Good morning. This is the 5am Mester Scrum Show, and I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And apparently it's 8 o'clock, so taking it easy. I don't know. This COVID thing is getting to me, and just slacking. Slacking. Anyway, this is our 393rd episode, and I was looking at some metrics and the Coke Mentos experiments and seeing how people were looking at things and stuff like that, and playing with the cats, because of course every time the cats wake up they want me to pet them, get fed. Anyway, hope you're doing well today. It is Wednesday, so it's the middle of the week, and here at the 5am Mester Scrum Show, we talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way. Speak of the devil, here comes one of the devil cats right now. And we do this so that you can get your work done, get value to the customer, so you can be with family and friends, have some fun, not work 60, 80 hours a week and stress out, that we all create our own little stress. And you know what I forgot? I forgot the little microphone thing, so I'm hoping it's working. It should be working. I'm sorry if it's crackling and it's not as clear as normal. Maybe I'll move it a little closer. There we go. That way the microphone picks up everything. I knew I forgot something. There's always something somewhere. Anyway, we'll just go with the show because this is live. Two things I want to talk about today. I want to talk a little bit about reuse of code and product and getting some money out of that, and some things why we do that in enterprise environment also. And then middle management, skipping over middle management and the impact of doing that to what you're trying to do from a transformation perspective. And I got the cat over here pushing on the camera. All right, let's see. There you go. See, she's here. She wants to be part of the show. Do you want to be part of the show? And there's Bubbles. Okay, so is that for clickbait? I don't know. They do so many things in these social media things. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There's a cat there. So reuse. So yesterday I was watching in between. It was real quick. The SpaceX launch. So it was the sixth time. So it's sixth time they've used the booster to put their satellites up in space, which I can't wait for Starlink to get. I put my name in there. I want the Starlink thing. They reused the rocket 6 times. Can you imagine how much money they are saving by reusing what they developed? So it really makes me wonder when I always hear about developers got to create everything from scratch and redo things and create stuff and spend a lot of time and effort. And one of the things in Agile, and one of the ways I help developers, is try to reuse code. So if they can reuse a rocket engine, I mean the entire rocket thing, why can't we reuse code? It's just something you might want to, if someone says, well, we can't reuse it because we got to redo it all from scratch and everything. Well, why are we designing something? This is where we're getting at. So why are we designing an infrastructure and architecture for our code that doesn't promote reusability and how we reuse stuff, so that we can make, calls and routines and things like that we can use, like testing, automated testing, a check to make sure that, my favorite, and it still happens every time I go to every organization is. So there's all kinds of routines out there, all kinds of JavaScript, all kinds of scripts out there to, if you have a big text file, to check the data coming in from the customer, that there's no special characters, or test your code so they can handle special characters. You can build a test that populates any field in the world with every character in the world and see if it blows up your code. And you can write that little test, and then you can take that little piece of test code that you just wrote to verify that this field doesn't violate it, and use it everywhere, right? Every field, anywhere anybody hits a key on the keyboard. I am so amazed at how many people do not have that in basic coding. But that's a perfect example of reuse. Write it once so that you build the integrity of your code, and then you could use it everywhere, and you just call the routine. It's like when you want to test it, how well does it handle that? That's reuse. That's reuse of a test case or automated routine. You can reuse that one little segment if architecture right. all the time. And you don't have to ever do it again. Just like using the rocket. So they designed the rocket with reuse in mind, and they architected that way. Teams should be architecting code to reuse code. So it should be architect that way. Everybody thinks in Scrum and Agile, we don't plan stuff. Well, that's totally wrong. You're always planning stuff. You want to look at where the future's going to be, right? And we'll talk more about that. I got some PO things product owner stuff that I want to talk about later on. But that's that reuse. So I want to say, challenge your team next time. They can freaking use a rocket 6 times on launch and save millions and millions of dollars every time they launch because they don't have to build a new rocket every time. Then why can't you reuse your code? And why can't you architect to reuse code? Please don't tell me that yours is any different from theirs. If you do, I understand complex systems, but stuff you can reuse. So that's reuse. Just want to bring that up and give you an example of something you can use. The other thing is middle management. And I was watching Jim Jelly, who's out of the UK. I watch his stuff every once in a while. And he was talking about culture and how Agile, you can't change culture, but you can change the framework and stuff. And I kind of agree. There is some culture stuff that's been around. And how you do it, you can't do it with some logo and some coffee pot. I agree. Or a foosball table. Doesn't change it, right? But one of the things I notice a lot of Agile coaches do, even myself at times, I'll tell you, I'm guilty. I am guilty of sin when it comes to this. Middle managers. A lot of coaches, a lot of enterprise transformations skip middle management. They go from up top, oh, we want to do Agile, jump all the way down into the teams and train the teams to be Agile. But you know what? The middle management culture can destroy your transformation. And if you don't address it, it's not going to happen. Now, I've had a lot of teams where I was a program manager and I owned the money and I owned everything. So I did Agile because there was no one to tell me I couldn't. I go, who has the money? Well, you do, Greg. Well, then we're going to do Agile. Okay. So it was one of those things. I've done that on multiple programs that I was in charge of, and we kind of created that quasi-Agile. Agile mind, right? Not necessarily I took Scrum or not took Kanban or whatever, but we used the Agile mindset and how we ran the program, which is still allowable, by the way. People don't realize that. As long as you keep the Agile mindset, you can do it any way you want. It doesn't really matter. But if you maintain that Agile mindset, you will be successful. So anyway, so I was in a meeting the other day, and we're talking about doing this training, and they wanted to go right down to the teams and train the teams on Agile. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we got a couple middle managers that are pro and want to do this, but there's some other middle managers that aren't really keen on Agile. And if you don't reach out to them and get them to understand Agile leadership and how Agile leadership, the Agile mindset works, it doesn't matter. You can train all your teams you want, but you need to reach. You can't skip them. And it was this obvious when I was in the discussion yesterday, how quickly they just skipped right over middle management. I'm like, whoa, wait. Every transformation I've ever done where we do some training for people, the first group we train, the middle managers. And that's when you're successful. And you still got fighting. You're still going to get that cultural thing going on. But what we like to do, here's my recommendation. We can do it. Get the managers in there. Make sure they, their boss tells them you got to attend this training, right? Have them go through the training. Get their feedback, just the training based on their feedback to where you want to train your people, because one, it helps them buy into the training. They help contribute to the training that their people are going to get. They'll tell you what they think, right? And so that's something that you should do. Don't skip middle management. It's going to make you harder in a lifetime. And as a coach, it's harder. I don't know. Someone just wrote. I don't know what that is. Just junk. But just think about that for what you want to do. So don't forget the middle managers. Work with them. Train them. Help them become Agile. or your Agile Transformations is going to be tougher, right? You got to, every once in a while, go address them. Don't hide. I know it's hard. I fall in that realm too. Sometimes just training people or just training Scrum Masters, it's so much easier, but you got to hit the hard ones too. You got to bring it all together. So that's what I have for today. I hope you have a good day. And looking forward, I was watching them install another rocket engine into another silo that's going to launch one day, I hope soon. And, thumbs up and ring the little bell so you can get notification when we post new stuff or go live or do stuff like that. With that, I want to say thank you all for all your support and fun and ideas as you send me emails and messages. Don't forget, I got spots for 2 people to coach. So feel free to message me on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook or whatever if you're interested in some Agile coaching. 6 months, about a half hour a week. We do record it. And part of the thing is we might use it for social media, but if I ever do use it for social media, whoever's my coachee will get full check on. And I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. I haven't done any sharing of it yet because I'm still trying to figure out how to do it and what will be the most value to you all and learning about Scrum and Agile and see what coaching's like. So with that, have a great day. Enjoy and stay healthy. Bye. Take some time. Have fun. See ya.